Good morning, everyone. Today's topic is accepting and sharing responsibilities. Most of us have been doing this, so we'll just go through what we have been doing it and giving it proper names and you know giving it a proper jargon. So, accepting and sharing responsibility. As I said, we have been in the very beginning of the sessions of effective technical communication. We have been talking that an individual cannot work all alone. You need to be there with people. Now, when you need to be there with people collectively, there needs to be certain things that we need to follow, and one of them is accepting and sharing responsibilities, right? Let's say a team works towards a common goal, but everybody plays his or her own role in that goal, and you are supposed to accept that portion and take responsibility of whatever goal you might achieve, you might not achieve, right? So what do we mean by responsibility? Responsibility means to be held accountable, the duty of being answerable, and the ability to take proper decisions, right? What do I mean when I say to be accountable? Accountable means if I am doing some work, I am solely responsible for whether the work is done properly, whether the goal is achieved, or whether we achieve failure. The duty of being answerable. When you are questioned as to why certain things happened in a certain way or why you were unable to perform, you are supposed to answer it. By answering it, you cannot just say, just did not happen. We don't know why. But you should know. You should be able to go back. You should work in the reverse order and try to find out why something that happened in a particular manner, or why it gave you a particular kind of a result. Remember, we have been talking in the past units about how institutes maintain different documents, records. Now, these records are for us only so that we can go back and see, okay, this was the decision taken which resulted into a failure. Now, where can we make a change so that the failure can turn into a successful event or a goal can be achieved? And the ability to take proper decisions, that is responsibility, right? Here, by responsibility, we mean you have to take, or you have to have the ability to take a proper decision. Let's say here we are going to talk as a professional, engineering professional, right? We have the unit title itself says ethics in engineering, right? So what kind of ability do you need to have when we say proper decisions? Remember, the decision can lead to failure, the decision can lead to success. When we say proper decision ability, we mean to say that the ability to distinguish how much damage will be done if you take a decision. Let's say everything cannot be achieved 100%, right? You do mathematical calculations every time. When you are solving numericals every time, it is never possible to get a full figure in the answer. You have certain answers and points as well. 99, even like if you take a very important part of maths, that's the word pi, 3.14 something something something. We have been taught till 3.14 or 22 by 7, right? That is in points. It's not 100% or a full figure. We know the figure is correct. That's what I'm trying to help you here with. When we say to take proper decisions, remember here the word which we have used is not correct decisions. We have used the word proper decisions. When we take the word proper decisions, we mean to say that maximum profit, minimum harm. Okay? Here, by taking proper decisions, we mean to say how many maximum, till what maximum limit can you profit with the decision. By profit, we not only mean monetary profit, but we also mean profit of upgrading oneself, profit of upgrading the standard of living of the human society, profit of also upgrading your knowledge. Okay? Let's say if somebody is a web designer, in your case, in a computer engineering field, right? If you are a even if you are a web designer, you do not know everything about it. Okay, there is always a new update or an upgrade that happens. So when we mean responsibility, we mean to say that up till that mark or to that extent, how much you can take into consideration when you take your decision, right? That is what we mean by responsibility. Next, other words that we can use for responsibility are commitment, corporation, and assistance. Commitment. The commitment to do good work. The commitment to follow your decisions, follow your instincts, try to experiment. Remember, engineering means experimentation. Engineering means making something new, inventions and discoveries, right? So, you commit to do your best. You commit to do your best. You cooperate. See, as I said, it is all about a bunch or a team of engineers or a team of human beings, a team of people, right? So you cooperate. You be flexible enough to make changes in whatever you are doing according to the requirement of the team, right? You have to see, as I said, see, remember, always, you are not only supposed to see the society as a whole. You are at the center, you are at the center, the society is the periphery. So you are not supposed to work in a way where you get losses and the society only profits, but you have to think in an outward manner, from inside to out. That is from your profit, and then at the large, the profit of the society. How do you do it? See, if you as a person do not upgrade yourself, you will never be able to give the advanced technology to the society, right? So corporation here means, see, I might be working in one particular way. I have a habit of waiting for people to do their work, or some of us are active people. We don't wait for people, we finish our work and we try and help others finish their work. That's what we mean by corporation in a team of people. And then, which connects us to our next word, which is called assistance. Never find it a shameful event to ask for assistance and to give assistance if you have the knowledge to do so. Right? You have to look into things over here. Let's say there are a few statements. A few statements. If you see, every professional sector would have its own statements. Right? So one of the few statements that we have, which includes the word responsibility. Say, example, engineers are responsible for public safety. Engineers are responsible for public safety. Researchers are responsible for integrity of research. The CEO is responsible for the decisions in the organization. These are a few statements that show us the meaning of responsibility. These are a few examples. So, as I told, this unit, we are not going to have a true or false statement reconnections. Here we have statements where you have actually worked in the field. So can you share a few responsibilities that you have carried out? Can you share a few responsibilities that you have carried out? Since we are in a situation where we are spending a lot of time at home, we're not just sitting at home, but we are trying to help our family members as well, right? So I know you might have a list of responsibilities that you are sharing. Let's say, since lockdown, I'm sharing the responsibility of bringing fruits and vegetables to home. I'm helping my mom with the grocery. Let's say, I'm sitting and looking into my dad's business as well. I'm trying to understand business. I'm trying to share a responsibility over there. Right? Let's say I'm paying the light bills. I'm helping them pay off the light bills. So you have to state and share a few responsibilities that you have carried out, not only during this period, but even in the past if you have carried out. Let's say I'm giving you 2-3 minutes of time. You can type your answers in the chat box, and you can share a few incidences where you have shared responsibilities in the family. A few minutes given to you to type your answers in the chat box. So beautiful incidences shared by you, and we'll move ahead. I've also got one sample with me here. So you help your grandparents to travel, you helped your younger siblings with their studies, you took care of the household, taking a leadership role in your group projects, etc. These are a few examples. You shared beautiful examples as well. Now, accepting and sharing responsibility in a teamwork, right? We have been every now and then responding to this method of working together, working in a team to achieve goals. So, which are the indicating signals where you have to work in a team and you have to maintain or you have to accept your responsibility on your own? Remember, people don't remind you every now and then that you do this, you are supposed to do this. Some things we do on our own, it is understood, right? So, maintaining or increasing the quality, reaching or exceeding production targets. When can you exceed your production target? When you work properly in a team, you understand each other's, you have a connection with each other, you work like supplements and complements. You complement each other, you supplement each other, right? Decreasing complaints from team managers, right? Managers have less complaints. Why? Because you work on your own. There is a system which is set, right? Limited conflict between team members and fewer workplace injuries. These are the indicating signals that you are working better in team. Not only working better in team, but you are on your own, accepting and sharing the responsibilities that are given to you. Involvement in decision making. There are different levels beginning from the lowest to the highest. Please mark this as an important question from the exam point of view. From the lowest to the highest, it's an example that has been taken and we are moving up. So the lowest level is there is no involvement of anybody except the leader, and the leader takes decisions on his or her own, and you are not involved at all. The team is never involved. Okay? Now, if you move one step ahead, whoever is the supervisor, by here the supervisor we mean the team leader or the person who is behind everything, right? So the supervisor asks for opinion, but not necessarily he or she would implement your opinion. They just ask for your opinion and they take a decision. Now if you move one step ahead or above this for involvement level, the supervisor and the team together take the decision. Supervisor and the team together take the decision. They work together and they take a decision. That's the intermediate level. That's the middle level of involvement. Neither too much nor too less. Now, if you move one step above it, the supervisor, what he or she does is, he or she outlines the problems and the constraints for solving it. Okay, these are the problems and this is what is the hindrance part. And then hands it over to the team to solve it. Let the team solve it. These are the problems. This is what is coming in between the problem and the solution. Now you find a solution. And then the highest in the hierarchy, the highest level of involvement, it happens when the supervisor is not supposed to tell what the problem is. The team identifies the problem, solves the problem, or brings solutions to the problem, and hands over the recommendation to the supervisor that this is what can happen, this is what we see as a problem, and these are the solutions that we found out, and this is what you can implement. That's the highest level of involvement while working. Right? You don't wait. Let's say we take the current scenario. Right? We don't wait for somebody to tell us that, madam, you prepare a PPT, or madam, you include a video over here because it's hard. Madam, why don't you give a assignment to the students so they are also involved? Madam, why don't you share a Google folder? Right? At each and every step, if this is involved, it becomes quite mechanical. It's not involvement. It is doing because you are told to do it. Whereas if you see teams where people work at their own freedom as well, when they see that this is a potential problem and this could be the potential solution to it, and they put forward it to the head or the supervisor and say, sir or madam, I found this problem. This might be a problem in the future, but I also found a solution. That shows how involved you are in the work, how involved you are in taking your responsibility without anybody telling you. That is why it is the highest in the hierarchy, in the part of you being involved in taking your responsibility. Right? So please mark this as an important question from the exam point of view. And this question to be answered in the hierarchical formation only. You cannot change the order of the chronology. Either you start from the highest or you start from the lowest. Okay, either ways you can write the answer. Either you begin from the top or the bottom, right, and move forward in the chronological order. Important question from the exam point of view. Now, what are the benefits of sharing a responsibility? This is also an important short note. Please mark this as important. First thing, if you share responsibility, it would increase the team morale. No, you will feel like a team and not like an individual in a team. You'll feel oneness with the people. Right? My team, my project. You feel an ownership over here. Right? Moreover, if you are sharing responsibilities, it makes each and every member of the team feel important and appreciated at the same time. Moreover, when you share responsibilities in a team, work which you are assigned is done in a faster manner with a better quality. In a faster manner with a better quality. Then it also helps you focus on the bigger picture. What do I mean to say when I say the word bigger picture? By bigger picture, we mean to say at the larger end, right? What is, let's say, what is the goal of the institute at the end of a few years or a few years down the line? What do you think is the goal? Or what are they thinking about? What's happening? Or every institute, as I told you, or I've been telling you, that every institute would have its own goals, right? What are the goals of Institute A? Or what are the goals of Institute B, C, D? Where have we reached in the milestone part? Where have we reached in the milestone part? Right? What do you feel that the institute wants to do? What do you feel that the organization wants to do? Right? What are its end achievements? What are the things that it wants to work on? Right? You will see the bigger picture. Right? As I said, the journey of working in and around an organization or an institute, it's a milestone. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we want to do this. That's the goal. But then you have divided into parts. Right? So it helps you to see and achieve the bigger picture in life. Right? It helps the organization to look into things on a larger scale. Looking towards things on a larger scale is what we can do. It also prepares the successors, people who are going to move the institute forward from where you have taken it, for leadership goals. Usually we behave the way our leader is. Let's say if you think that your teachers are punctual on time, most of you are on time. Right? You don't do it because you see and you practice what you see. Moreover, not only does it contribute to an individual success, but it also contributes to the success of the entire organization. The entire organization moves together and climbs the steps of success. Then it also removes the burden of work. Now, if you work together, it will always decrease the burden. Not only the burden of doing the work, but also the mental burden that comes alongside. Moreover, it also gives you a lot of experience of how you can work together and how you can together achieve a goal. So please mark this also as one of the important questions for exam point of view. The benefits of sharing responsibilities. These are a few benefits of it. So can you share an experience or an incident where you benefited when your team shared different responsibility roles? I'm giving you 2-3 minutes of time. where you can note down where you worked as a team. Let me give you an example over here. You might have all worked for your group projects, right? Projects or uh, project work that you were allocated. There were groups and you worked on it, right? So how did you benefit when everybody readily took his or her responsibility, when each group member did his or her work, not only his or her own work, but also uh, did some work that helped you out in the later stages of the project? Could be one of the possible answers, right? So I'm giving you 2 3 minutes of time. You can type your answers in the chat box where you benefited when people shared their responsibility. A few more examples could be good, like because all of you shared a responsibility, you were able to complete your work on time, something like that. Can we have a few more incidences over here? Fine, we've got two examples with us, but I hope you understand why such examples are required. As I said, this unit is more about examples and case studies. That's why, it's a this is what I have stated as one of the examples. So one of the examples which I have stated is during this lockdown period, got a chance to work with my mom at home, and also got a chance to see how businesses are managed, things are done in the family, etc. Over here is one of the samples that I have given, and you also have given excellent examples to us. So the ways to encourage responsibilities. Please mark this as an important question. How do you encourage a person to take up the responsibility? So very first thing that you need to do is share your vision. Share your vision. How does somebody know that this is what a person desires? Share your vision is the first thing that you do. So this is what I look forward to in my team, or this is what I look forward to when I'm asking about or asking you to do this project. And remember, every time somebody asks you to do a project work, they would also tell you the reason for it. Why? The why part. Remember, I have been talking about this since the day we started learning about communication skills, right? We've been talking about the why part a lot. Why do I need to know it? I need to know it because it is the part or the portion that will help me realize my role in achieving that goal. Madam, why are we learning communication skills? We're learning it because engineers have ideas. How do they tell the world that this is their idea? They can tell the idea when they can communicate better. Simple, right? So the why part. Share your vision so that when you share your vision, the people who are working for you would also come to know and understand why are we doing this particular work in this particular pattern. What will we achieve towards the end of it? Because the end goal is something which gives you a reason. Something that gives you a reason to work hard, to work in a particular manner or a particular pattern. Right? That's why you should tell or share your vision with the teammates. This is why you should share or tell your vision to your teammates. Next, involve your employees in goal setting and planning activities. Don't always behave like a boss. Behave like a leader. Behave like a leader, not a boss. Why you want to behave like a leader? When you behave like a leader, you not only just tell them that, okay, you are supposed to do this, because we want to achieve goal number 1, 2, 3, 4. You ask them, what do you think should be the goal for our organization? Right? When we are designing something, what goal would you have if it is your own organization? When we involve them, people will feel or have a feeling of ownership. Remember, when you get admission into college or class, in a college or a school, you divide it into divisions A, B, C, D. Though you are all of the same caliber, people having similar interest, but you have this pride. My division event, madam, EC2 is doing it. Third semester EC2, my. When you have this ownership feeling, it makes your way of working more strong. You will work with double the enthusiasm when you are given the ownership of something. Right? Our class event. Madam, student from our class stood first in computer engineering, second semester result. Right? That feeling, that ownership. And that's why when you involve people into planning the activities to achieving the goal, they'll feel the ownership and they'll work with the best. Explain the why part. As I said, you should know why. Right? Why am I traveling? Why am I going to this place? Etc. etc. If you know the destination well, you know how fast and how slow to work in a particular situation. If you know the destination well, you know how fast or how slow you have to work to achieve that goal, or how much time you have if you make mistakes. Right? So know the why part. Let them choose the how. Let them choose the how part. Now, what do I mean by letting them choose? You don't keep on telling them that this is how you do it. You don't keep on telling your employees. Let's say uh, when we are teaching, I'll give you an example from the teaching field because that's what I have been doing. Right? So when I'm teaching, nobody tells me how I teach. Why? Every teacher has his or her own way of doing it. Every teacher has his or her own way of doing it. What if I try to ask every teacher to teach in the same way? Let's say I am a teacher from communication skills department. My job is to communicate. My job is to communicate. Whereas if you take teacher from the mathematics department, his or her job is to calculate. Now if somebody asks me to teach communication the way a numerical is solved, can I do it? Or if somebody asks the teacher who teaches mathematics to teach it in the way a communication teacher teaches it, it will not be the fun. Everything has its own distinct quality, and everybody has a style or a way of working, right? So let the people choose how to work, which will not only make your work easier, will also make their work easier. How does it make their work easier? If I have the style of working, if I know the style of working, it will make my work easier. Why? Because I know how to work, and I'll always achieve things. I'll always achieve things if I'm working in my own way. Delegate authority, not just work. Now remember, you cannot be taking a follow up every time. So you divide it into smaller sections, and everybody has a section head so that some person they have to report to. Right? The way we have in our college, if you see the system, we have got mentors, we have got class coordinators, and we have got branch coordinators, subject coordinators, HODs. It's not the dean sir who will always come and ask how much work have you finished, how much have you taught. No, there's a lineup. Why is the lineup there? The lineup is there so that the work is easily divided. People can work, and there's also an authority who can keep a watch on people. So these are the ways you can encourage responsibility sharing. So mark this is an important question from the exam point of view. Trust them before you have to do anything. You trust people. Have your trust. Encourage people to solve their own problems. Please remember feedback. Feedback is an inevitable part. Remember to give feedback, not only feedback but constructive feedback, and acknowledge the person on spot. Why on the spot? See, you have to hit the rod when the iron is hot. Right? Somebody did something very good and I acknowledge after 6 months, it's not valuable. I acknowledge on the same at the same time the person will work with double zeal and enthusiasm. That's why encouraging on spot. So this was the end of today's session. Do we have any question and answers? This entire unit is more experienced based. That is why whenever you see, I've been asking you questions where you have directly had an experience of the same. Fine, we don't have any questions, so we'll move ahead with our ritual of having the quiz. So what I'll do is I'll paste the link of the quiz in the chat box. Just give me a minute. There we go. We have the link for the quiz of today, and you may attempt your quiz now. Well done. I can see everybody has completed the quiz, and that was quite quick. Okay, now we'll move on to the attendance part. Have that read. So enrollment number 2, 5, 8, 9, 10, 12, 'Yes, Ravi, I have marked your attendance. 16, 17, 19, 24, 25, 26, 29, 31, 34, 35, 38, 44, 46, 47, 49, 50, 51, 53, 54, 56, 58, 65, 7, 68, 69, 72, 73, 82, 85, 89, 91, 96, 100, 101, 102, 103, 106, 108, 117, 118, 119, 120, 121, 125,